Hello viewers! My beginner's journey continues. I took a short break, and now I'm ready to show you the next part of my beginner's path. The second episode will focus on the third day of gameplay as promised, without donations or cheating. Wonder what awaits me? Let's dive back into the beginner's world. As you remember from the previous episode, I've managed to complete this number of challenges, and here's what I've been able to accomplish in the missions. The account has a decent amount of resources from the missions. However, the problem is that half of the resources are spent on completing the challenges and looting resources from them. Just a reminder that I chose a more challenging path, but the upside is that I don't have to spend time and resources on unnecessary mid-game actions. Remember in the last episode, I got 2 great epics through the link in the description? Well, here they are. I already got Ultimate Galek through registration, and I will get the second champion Zargala during today's leveling. I also already have 1 champion from a promo code, Duck the Pierced. In the previous episode, I successfully completed the newbie tournament, which gave me access to other tournaments available on the global ladder. The recipe for success is actually quite simple. I open the tournament, check the rewards, and if they are not very appealing, I close the tournament. However, if there are good rewards, such as shards or rubies, then I enter the tournament. Now I carefully read the requirements for completion, as they vary each time. It could be leveling up champions, completing a certain dungeon, or getting shards. Since I'm a beginner, it doesn't make sense for me to enter tournaments right now. It would be a waste of resources. At the moment, resource management is very important to me, and if I were to spend all my energy on participating in a tournament like the Ice Golem, it would take me several days to farm. By the way, there was a challenge to open a blue shard, and I got this champion. It will come in handy somewhere, but in the long run it will pay off as I farm more in the dungeons. By the third day, I'm forced to start leveling up champions from my roster. While I'm making progress through missions, I still need to improve my champions on my own, but I take into account the missions where there are always tasks to equip a certain champion with a certain set of artifacts to pump those things to level 12 and 16. I equip Duck the Pierced in 2 types of sets, defense and health. His damage depends on defense, so I will not equip him purely for attack. By the way, he will be perfect for the lifesteal set to add vitality. War Priest is more of a healer. She needs speed and health with defense. Ultimate Galek is more of a damage dealer. I put him on attack and speed so he can attack enemies more often. He also needs critical chance and critical damage. Zargala is more of a debuffer and thrash killer. Right now I'm leveling him up to 25 and putting him on damage and accuracy to hit with debuffs. As for Kale, it's clear. I'll equip him fully on damage since I have some supports here that will somehow be able to keep him afloat. The other champions I have equipped either on missions or just for fun. You know, there is such a desire to dress the champions. In the campaign, I have already completed the 6th chapter. The progress bar is almost half closed. There is still a little bit left to get the coveted shard. Playing on 3 stars turned out to be harder than I thought, as having 2 champions to complete the tasks is sometimes a pain. So you have to play manually and not on auto battle. I equip them on the basic principle, and everyone needs it. Boots with the main parameter speed, and gloves with the chance of a critical hit. I equip armor as it turns out, taking into account the main parameter of the champion. I'm not in a hurry to level up and evolve yet, because I have challenges and missions to base this process on, and so far I can only pump the level and that's it. Here is, for example, leveling in rank, often caught in the challenges tab, and not to return to the same point twice, so far postponed in a long box. But I was wondering, how do I get more resources? I get this question all the time. I have promo codes for old accounts. My account is already considered an old account, so I open the menu for entering promo codes and enter all the promo codes for olds that I have. Here on your screen, working codes at the time of the release of the video. But if you also want to enter promo codes, open the hint on our channel and open the latest video on promo codes that are all there. I finally reached level 25. I got a new epic, Zargala, in the mail, so I'm taking her and pumping her as a damage debuffer, but with an emphasis on speed and accuracy. Since her skills work great for PvE content, but I'll use her in PvP at some point. I just need to equip her with the right sets and buffer stats. In that time, I've already made progress on getting a champion in 7 days. I'm just a little bit away from another epic champion. In the next episode of Leveling a Newbie Account, I'll take a look at this epic, show how to equip cheaply and where profitable to use. so subscribe to the channel and put a like on the video. You will receive notification of the release of the new series, and I will have more motivation to release the next video. The only thing that is a pain in the ass when you level up is certain dungeon challenges. It took me hundreds of units of energy to complete them, just to get 5 certain penalties at a time. These challenges sometimes keep me awake at night dreaming about how I can't pass them. Well, that's okay, still bearable. But the immediate pain is Mission to Arena, where you have to reach a certain league. It's really long, but by the way, thanks to the starting champions, those missions weren't that hard. Now I got through them several times faster than without epics while pumping my first account. If you viewers have any real problems in pumping, write in the comments. Do not hesitate. I will try to answer somehow help. Among the problems of a beginner, I can single out the eternal lack of energy. But thanks to the game series and its awards, I had more than 1,000 energy. But with time, it all runs out very quickly. As soon as I run out of energy, I change the principle of pumping, because now the energy is only restored to the limit. So I go in every time it is replenished, which is literally 3 times a day. I do tasks that consume energy down to 0 and so constantly. By the way, if you just go into the game, I will accumulate energy beyond the limit. I have on one of the main accounts more than 13,000 energy. But this is such a spoiler for the next video on leveling. There will be economic tricks that I will share with my viewers. Don't miss it. At this stage, when I have already received all the basic bonuses and mastered a little bit, I need to pay attention to the combat, since the game offers 2 types of combat, automatic and manual combat, almost like in the car different boxes. The big difference is that in auto combat, the artificial intelligence just uses all abilities as they roll back. There is no special clever strategy there, and I would like the AI to think about what to do and when to apply abilities and buffs, because there are often situations where you need to save champions with low health and the AI decides to just attack the enemies. Fighting in manual mode changes dramatically because I am the one who controls the abilities and have learned all the abilities of champions. I understand how to attack and work perfectly with the abilities on the enemy. The quality of the fight increases as time goes on, and the activities that were not done before in the auto battle, I do manually at the beginning. One of the most important things for me now is the strictest economy of currency and energy, but the thing is that the development missions and challenges do not allow me to do that, because there you need to pump something to get through a dungeon, or outfarm a thing with some parameter. But in general, I tried to stay out of battles and not pump champions until missions or challenges forced me to. This tactic has worked for me many times, and you can see for yourself in my account pumping section. As for equipping champions, so far I have only equipped the main champions and in sets of at least 3 stars. Since artifacts hang with 1 star, well, it's a crack. In the first place, to remove them need to pay silver, and in the second, these artifacts give such a small increase that it is almost invisible, and sharpening these artifacts, well, it's still a gag. The first days and past, the main thing is just the right start, and further in the game when there will be developed the habit of playing correctly in the raid, problems with pumping and resources simply should not be. Without slowing down, I have already spent 2 days in the game. The 3rd day is officially over. I'll show you the progress I've made on the 3rd day of the game. Here is the Missions tab. Compared to the first 2 days, my progress has decreased a lot, all because of the difficulty of the missions. And here is the Challenges tab. Again, my progress has slowed, but compared to the missions, I will complete the challenges faster. Here is my amount of resources. Silver balance is down because I spent a lot of silver sharpening things. Rubies are replenished a bit, and energy is still there. Shards are replenishing slowly but surely. I'm getting closer to getting a sacred shard and a chance to get my first legendary. Who knows, maybe in the next video I will show you how to do it. Subscribe to the channel and notifications to not miss the video. See you very soon. I remind you that you can safely swing with me. On the link in the description, get really useful epics and faster pumping. Catch you soon!